Okay, welcome to like take 4 of me attempting to record this. Um, Various things have been going wrong, including my mic just not being recording. Hopefully, we're good now. Um, to continue where we left off, you will be having just quit out after Dash. If you've not yet equipped Dash Master, you're gonna have to do that now, so you can't do the early control thing. If you have equipped Dash Master already, then you can try and go for the double click for early control here. See if I can get it. I don't think I did there. Um, if you did, just mash dash, because you're just going to be immediately wanting to dash right. I didn't get it, so I'm going to get off the bench and then dash right. And you're kind of aiming for one of your dashes to land on this step. If you just get off the bench normally, that's going to be like 6 dashes and you're just going to land there nicely. If you come from an early control, you're going to be like here or something. And so your dashes might not be lined up as well. As you can see, if I just dash, I'll land here. So just kind of delay one of them so that you land on here. If you want, you can try and go from here. But it's just, this step is really nice for doing 2 dashes off and then inventory dropping. But yeah, it's not going to matter too much. So for this room, you're not just going to do the hard fall cancel like you did when you went to Claw. You're going to actually want to gain control much earlier so that as you drop down here, you can just dash immediately. So basically you're going to want to close map basically as soon as the room loads in. As soon as the room fades in, you're going to want to close map. And then you can dash immediately. And that'll land you like somewhere around here. And then the rest of the room is just jump, dash, repeat. So jump, dash, jump, dash, jump, dash, jump, dash, and then dash again. And that tick was like kind of in my way there, but if you haven't been standing around explaining the room, it won't be. It'll be like completely out of your way most of the time, unless you've been really slow for some reason. If you do mess up one of these dashes, which happens to me sometimes because I'm trying to do them as fast as possible, and you fall down here, just go like that. Don't try to get back up on the platforms. You'll waste more time than it's worth. So yeah, just kind of go along that bottom path. In this room, you're going to dash storage, so get transition storage, dash pause, unpause. And you will dash for the rest of the room. And then here you just got to dash across as fast as possible, avoiding the enemies just so you don't get the freeze frames from getting hit. And then in this next room, we're going to do a storage out of bounds. And try to avoid the geometry there. So that's what you want it to look like, but it's honestly not super easy to do. There's this big old triangle here that you're going to have to get a feel for how to avoid. I just kind of hold left for some amount of time that I have a feel for now. I don't really like count it out or anything. I just kind of know what it feels like. Hold left for some amount of time and then hold right for some amount of time, and that it works. I unfortunately don't have like a visual cue or anything I can give you. You'll just kind of get a feel for it relatively quickly. And then of course, you can always just land on this. If you just land on it, just kind of walk out. And walk back in. It is kind of easy to like not hear footsteps so you think you're off of it because you like immediately fall, kind of do that fall off of it because the slope goes down faster than you fall. So it's kind of easy to like do this, but just kind of like walk like maybe a little bit farther than you think you need to, and then you'll be fine. Okay. This room, you're just gonna, I guess I can kind of, I can also make inventory more transparent. I realized that I kind of didn't do that for the dash storage, but hopefully that doesn't matter too much. Now inventory should be more transparent. All you're gonna do is walk off this edge, and like a little bit after you walk off the edge, you're gonna dash. You don't want to do it like immediately, and you're gonna do this with transition storage. You don't want to do it like immediately. Like, you don't want to do it right there, but just like a little bit after, and you're just gonna hold left, and it'll drop you really nicely into that load zone. Just okay. So yeah, even that was a little bit too early. So you don't need to be super concerned about doing it as fast as possible. I'm gonna blame the fact that having transparent inventory makes things look different for why I messed that up, but just That should be good. And you just like fall really nicely into that load zone. Okay. And obviously this lever is not hit, so you're gonna have to go to bounds. And I messed it up. But so this is kind of similar to the first tall room in Fungal, where like you could try to get a transition storage here, but honestly I don't recommend it, just because you have to avoid this load zone here, and then after that load zone there's this lip by this load zone that you actually want to hit. This is the one you want to go into, and by this point you're falling really fast. So unless you land on this lip and then walk off of it, it's gonna be extremely tight to actually hit this load zone if you have transition storage, because you will be falling very fast by this point. You also won't have the camera on you or like anywhere near you. So it's really tight. You do have like this spot to wall jump back up if you miss it, but I don't recommend it personally. And I think if you're gonna land on this and then get off of that, I think that's slower than just not doing the transition storage and not landing on that. So, either way, to start it, you're just gonna get out of bounds, you're gonna dash once, and then dash a second time. And then what I do is I wait for the camera to stop moving. Or to start moving, rather. Because if you inventory drop immediately, the camera won't follow you. You can see it has to catch up to me there. But if I wait for the camera to start moving, and then inventory drop, you can see it follows me the whole way down. So, I wait for the camera to start moving, and then I inventory drop. And then, when I get to the right height, I just close inventory, and dash to the load. Sometimes like that, the dash didn't even happen, because I was close to the load anyway. But sometimes the dash, helps. And again, you have this as a little bit of leeway. So if you go too low, you can use that to wall jump back up. And then, of course, as always, there's safe strats where if you want, you can just land on this lip and then walk off and hold right. I would recommend not doing the full safe strats of like hitting this load zone. Like, you should really try to avoid this load zone. But apart from that, you can land on this, and then you'll be fine. So in the next room, you want to get transition storage. You're just going to dash to the bench, get on it, close inventory, and dash out. And make sure that in this load zone, you're wiggling analog stick or mashing up and down on the keyboard, just to make sure you get off the bench, because you do not want bench storage. So yeah, you're just gonna get transition storage, come over here, and then that way when you sit on the bench, you immediately have control, so you don't have to wait for that animation. And then close inventory, and dash out. Okay. This is where there's kind of a split. There's multiple routes you can take here. So, I'll put timestamps for when I'm done explaining each route, so that you can skip ahead to the one that sounds more appealing to you. Because it splits the video up into those nice little sections on the like watch time bar. So I'll put some timestamps for when each strat is, and I'll kind of explain the strats now, and then I'll start going over them. So you're gonna want to skip False Night optimally. There is also the option that you don't skip False Night, and that loses about 20 seconds. And both of the False Night skips are pretty hard, so like that's not an unreasonable time loss to take if you're just starting out. In fact, I kind of recommend not skipping False Night if you're just starting out, just because finishing runs in this category is very hard, and adding False Night skip just adds one more extra barrier. And it's only 20 seconds. However, I totally respect it if you want to learn it immediately. So not skipping False Night is the easiest of the options. And then there's the classic False Night skip. I'll go over that first. And that's just kind of going out of bounds around the False Night room with Claw. And that's the one that I can't do right now. My game goes through phases of just not letting me do it. But it is consistent once you've practiced it a lot. It's just hard. for me, whatever is happening to me now happens occasionally where the game just refuses to work. But no one else has had this issue, I think. So maybe I'm just bad. And maybe I just go through phases of being terrible at the skip. But it does feel like something's off with the game, honestly. Um, so, yeah, so the first option is just go to Bem's around False Knight. And that saves 20 seconds over fighting him. The second option is new, and it's to room dupe past False Knight. And it has an RNG load zone in it, which just means there's a load zone that could take you to a random room. Not completely random, there's two options. And so if you get the better of those two options, the room dupe saves 3 seconds over the normal False Knight skip. Or sorry, not 3 seconds. Like, between 1 and 2 seconds. So, like, less time. It's a small time save. I don't know why I said 3. It saves between 1 and 2 seconds over the normal False Knight skip. If you get the wrong room, then it loses between 1 and 2 seconds. So, it's RNG, and you'll either save 1 or 2 seconds, or lose 1 or 2 seconds. And with that little of a spread of times you can get, I basically just consider this a viable alternative to the other False Knight skip. It is technically optimal, but it also has RNG, so it depends what you're going for. It's also a room dupe, which is very different from what you're doing with the other False Knight skip. So it just depends on which one sounds better to you. The classical False Knight skip with Claw, I would say, is harder than any individual part of the room dupe skip. But the room dupe skip is harder to do optimally all at once. So, if that makes sense, like, it's harder to do the False Knight skip, but it's easier to do it optimally, I would say. So, anyway, I'm done with explaining. You can pick which one of those sounds better, or you can watch both and then decide. I'm going to go over the False Knight skip the normal way, / just not skipping False Knight first. So you're going to come into this room, and you're going to want to work fast, because the tick-tick will get in your way. This tick-tick there. So, as long as you kind of do those wall jumps quickly, you will get here before the tick-tick does. If you're a little bit slow and the tick-tick's in your way, you can just kind of stay along this one wall the whole time, but it is a slightly slower. But yeah, you're just gonna jump here, jump around this corner, and then jump twice, switch sides, and then do that last jump. And then as soon as you're over that lip, you just want to dash. And then in this room, you're gonna jump and dash over this gap, dash a couple times, dash between that platform and the guy, and then just kind of dash your way past these enemies. I'll put a save state here, because this is where you're going to do False Knight skip, but I'm going to show off just not skipping him first. Just going to come to this room. And this is just if you're not skipping False Knight. Ignore these enemies. And just fight False Knight. Health doesn't matter at all, by the way. You can tank him if you need to. You're going to be quitting out after Vengeful Spirit. So you just do the first phase, and then wait for him to break the floor so that you can get through here. And then inventory drop after you've walked off the ledge, not before you've walked off the ledge like I did. And in this room, I actually really like the movement in this room. You're going to dash like 4 times, jump dash, and then do some other stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4, jump dash. You're supposed to land on top of here. So after the 4 dashes, jump and dash. And jump and dash again. And dash 1 more time. And then there's a cool wall jump you can do here to go straight from there to there. It's like a little bit tricky, but it's really not too bad if you just like take a little bit of time to practice it. But if you can't get it down, you can just do that, or you know, whatever. But yeah, if you can like get that wall jump down, it's It's nice, it looks cool, and it feels cool. And you're just gonna dash over here and enter. And, yeah, that's what happens if you're not skipping False Night. If you are skipping False Night, I think that is this save state. So, this is the one that I said, I'm having a hard time with right now. So I'm gonna make this look really, really hard. I might not even get it. But trust me, it is doable. It's consistent once you practice it. It will be hard. But it's not as hard as I'm gonna make it look. So you're gonna go out of bounds. But in a specific way. So I didn't get it there. Again, this is the thing that's happening to me, where it feels like I'm timing it right, and I just kind of end up in the game anyway. So you notice that inventory didn't close at all. For a normal out of bounds, inventory like starts closing. You can try and show it off. Inventory like starts closing and then stops like that. You do not want to see that. If you see that, you are going to fall out of bounds and you are going to lose your run. So the reason is you're trying to wall jump off of this little tiny sliver of ground beneath the load zone, which is very small. You fall past that very quickly. So if you're out of bounds and you close inventory and you see it close and then stop closing, you're gonna be like out here when you spawn. And so you're just gonna immediately fall past that wall without any chance to wall jump off of it. So what you need to do is get out of bounds in a way that you don't see inventory close like at all. So like that. You don't see inventory close at all there. I had to hold right to get that because my game is being weird right now. And it's not working the normal way. You should be able to do that and just keep holding left the whole time. And so the other thing you're going to do differently from a normal out of bounds is there's two things. You need to make sure that you're doing it late enough that inventory does not start closing at all. You still need to be early enough to get out of bounds though. So if you do it too late, you'll just walk into this room and have transition storage. So you can't do that. You need it to get you out of bounds. But you need it to be late enough that you don't see inventory close at all. And the other thing you're going to do differently is you're going to hold whatever button you close with. So if you're closing with inventory, close with inventory, and hold inventory. If you're closing with quick map, which I do for this one, just because it's awkward for me to do inventory and then also do the wall jump after. So I do quick map, and just close it and make sure you're holding the button throughout the load. You're gonna load into this room, and you're just gonna be like right there. I can't go where you're actually gonna be because you'd be inside the load zone, but you'll be inside the load zone, just barely out of bounds, and you're gonna wall jump immediately. Like as soon as you see inventory go away, wall jump immediately. And it is possible to make the wall jump from that bottom up to here without doing any directional stuff. You can just hold left and make the wall jump, but that's going to require you timing the wall jump very, very, very precisely. Whereas to give yourself a little bit more leeway. I say leeway? Give yourself a little bit more leeway. Here, let me go to a bigger wall, like this one out of bounds. So you can just hold left and do this, and it is possible to make it, but you can like kind of go out from the wall a little bit, and that just gives you a higher jump. It gets you like over more, and you're just trying to jump around the load zone without touching it, and get to up here, and then you're just gonna wall jump the rest of the way up. And the other thing is you can do like this, where you jump out and then dash in to avoid losing height. Some people find that easier. I never did the dash, but I think 56 does it. So that is an option. If you find that easier, you can kind of do this triangle shape and dash back into the wall, and then wall jump up here. I will try to show it off, by the way. I'm just not confident that I can. So I'm just kind of showing you what happens if you do get it first. And you're going to land up here, dash across here, and then inventory drop off the other side. And don't worry, there is just ground down here. So you don't need to worry about like hugging the wall perfectly or whatever. Just inventory drop. And then when you know you're close to the ground, you can cancel it and dash in. So yeah, that's all it is. You're just gonna get this one out of bounds and like this hard wall jump, and then you're just gonna go around the room normally. So the hard part is just this wall jump to get up to this top part of the wall. So yeah, like I said, I can try to show it off, but my game just really does not want to put me out of bounds when I do this. And you can see I just walked into the room. So yeah, I might not be able to show it off, but yeah. I'm kind of annoyed that I can't really show you, but you get the point, I hope. That, you just gotta try and do that late out of bounds like I was talking about. And then just instantly, as soon as the room loads, wall jump and get around the load zone. It's like, it's pretty simple in concept, but it is a pretty tight wall jump. Yeah. Like I said, I'm making it look like it's just impossible, but that's just me. It is very possible. And like, when I'm not having this issue where it just straight up doesn't work, I can get this like 80-90% of the time. So it is consistent, but it is hard. So you just need to practice it quite a lot. Now, the room dupe false night skip. So if you're doing the room dupe, you're not going to go to the left here. You're going to go all the way to the top. And so the movement for that is going to be the same for the start. Wall jump up here. You want to be fast enough to avoid the tick-tick. I was a bit slow there. So, wall jump up here. Dash. Jump dash. And so this jump dash can either just go to this wall, and you can wall jump off that, or you can land on top if you're better. They're like the same speed. And you're going to come up this left side, so if you land on top, wall jump up. If you land on here, wall jump up. Same thing. And then from here, jump up here, 2 wall jumps, hit the lever, and then try and get a gate storage here, so you can wall jump. So, I know that happened pretty fast. But, yeah. I can try and show... It's just because I had to time it with the gate storage, so I had to kind of do it all at once, but... Wall jump twice, and hit the lever, is this section. And then you're just going to land over here, and jump up, and then as the gates go away, dash through them, so you get wall cling storage. And then you can just wall jump mid-air, and you want to enter this load zone facing left. And if you miss the wall cling storage on the gate, just kind of, you'll just land here and then jump up. Okay, and this is where you're going to room dupe. So, I'm going to put a save state here, actually. You're going to dash, 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 and inventory drop. And then you're going to room dupe. So I'll show you what I actually did there in a second, and I didn't even get it. What you're trying to do is, after you hit yourself in the spikes, very similar to a load warp, you're going to hit the spikes, you're going to quick map, open and close to gain control. And then you're just going to neutral slide down that wall. It's important you're not holding a direction. You're going to start sliding down that wall, hold no direction presses, and you will get wall cling storage, and then you're going to gain control from the spikes, and then you're just going to wall jump back up into the load. So I can try and show you that. Okay, no I can't. So, okay. And then if you dupe, you're just going to mash dash. And, you'll kind of get a free out of bounds if you just mash dash and hold left. So that's what it should look like from your perspective if you get it. I'm going to do it again, but zoomed out and with loading screens turned off. So that way I can show you what's actually happening here. It's just like that. So you neutral slide into the load like that, and I didn't do the out of bounds here, but again, you would just mash dash and you'd land over here. As you can see, I neutral slide into the load zone, and then a little bit after I come out the other side of the load zone, I can wall jump. And you can't really tell when you gain control, so you can just kind of do a few wall jump presses, what I do, and just kind of hope one of them is at the right time. you get a feel for it. And now I actually hate doing out of bounds and stuff with my loading screens gone, so I'm just gonna quit out to bring them back. So, yeah, sorry, that's just something that really annoys me, is it, like, kind of messes up my timing with everything. So, you're up here, you're out of bounds, and you're room duped. So, once you're here, you will have dashed and landed here. You're going to dash one more time, and then just hold right to hug this wall, and inventory drop. And you're going to hit this load zone. And you're going to see black here, like you can see. But all you need to do here is walk right, because you're standing here, and you just want to walk into this load zone. So you're not going to be seeing anything, but all you have to do is walk right. I'll put the camera on me. And you're going to want to go out of bounds in this next room. And this part's kind of important. So this is the same, like, lip over top of the Stag Station that you might have been standing on earlier when you did that out of bounds. I highly recommend standing on it here, because it's very important that you hit this load zone down here and not this load zone up here. So you're just gonna fall off and wait a bit, and then you don't do that dash. I was just dashing there so I didn't actually go through this load zone. I'm actually gonna put a save state here so I can go through that load zone, not worry about it. So you're gonna fall off a little bit, and then dash into the bottom of these load zones. And that will put you over here, which is where you want to be. Oh, whoops, this isn't gonna be right. Hold on. So, there is kind of a visual cue for this. So you can see this section down here, where you can see this leap. Oh crap, I hit a load zone. I forgot that load zone was there. Okay. Sorry. But you can see that section with the leaping husk. When you see that section start to fade in, that's when you're gonna want to dash into the load. So you can see if I'm just standing here and I put the camera normal, I can't really see that section. I can I'll do the out of bounds. I'll go back and do the out of bounds. So there's the out of bounds. I'm gonna land on that ledge. You can't really see the section. Fall off. Wait until the camera starts scrolling down, and then dash. So I waited a bit long there. You want to do it like as soon as you see the camera scrolling down at all. So yeah, I mean that's basically all there is to it. I don't have much better for you other than just wait until you see the camera move and then dash. And if you're a bit late on that, there is that section below you where you can try to wall jump back up into the load zone. And you should end up here, and this is what you should be seeing. You should see, like, this room with this tick-tick. You shouldn't actually dash into this room, because you just want to walk back to the right. But, like, this is what you should be seeing. If you hit the wrong load zone, then, so let me just hit the wrong one. Then you'll be in the Stag Station. You'll see that toll over there. And if you see that toll, you're screwed. You've hit the wrong load zone, and that's just unfortunately game over. So this is very important that you hit the right load zone here. But it's really not too tough to hit either. Like I said, walk off, camera starts moving, and dash. Okay. And then you will be here. And what you're gonna do is just walk back right and just do a neutral out of bounds. So you just want to like do an out of bounds and just hold no direction. And I have cursed map, so you can see like map opens really weirdly. Don't worry about that. It's not gonna affect anything right now. It actually can mess with stuff, but in this split it doesn't. So don't worry about it if you see that. But anyway, so you're just gonna do a neutral out of bounds. I pressed left a bit here so that I would have time to show you. But there's ground here. And so there's two kind of overlapping load zones. The top one is bad, the bottom one is good. It's not as bad as the other one that I just showed you where you hit the right one. So if you mess this up, you will just you'll get hit by a husk, and then you'll I'll show you. Uh, but so if you don't get this out of bounds, then it's RNG. You could get put to the right place anyway, or you could get put here, and this guy will hit you back into the load zone, and then you just try to do the out of bounds again. And I actually failed it and went too early now. So there you go. I got the right RNG, and then this is what you want anyway. But yeah, if you get the wrong one, then just sorry, I didn't dupe it. If you get the wrong one, you're just gonna get hit back into the load zone, and just try to get the out of bounds again. And if you do get the out of bounds, you will just be holding no direction, and so you'll just fall from up here, down here, and land on this ground inside this load zone at the bottom. And you will come through, and you'll be here. And then this isn't me with the camera. The camera will actually be on you for this part. And you're just gonna make your way through this room. There is something that can eat your jumps in this room. I don't even know what it is. It might be this guy inside the wall. Sometimes your jumps get eaten, like every single jump. And other times it seems fine. Most of the time it seems fine. It's rare that I get the jump thing. But that can be annoying if that does happen. But anyway, you're gonna come in here, dash 4 times, kind of make your way over this, try to avoid the enemies, hit this lever, and go through. And this is the RNG load zone. So, we'll see which one I get, and then I'll go from there. So you're just gonna dash in, and you're gonna hope you get good RNG. Okay. So this is the bad RNG. So I will show you what happens if you get bad RNG. So, the good news is that you have the same general movement, whether you're getting good RNG or bad RNG. Either way, you're going to be dashing left immediately. So you're over here, and you just want to dash left into this load zone. And then, you're going to dash left into a load zone again. You'll come out here, dash left. And then you're here. Again, you're going to dash back into this load zone. And this time, you're going to do an out of bounds and, like, jump as soon as you have control. So, I don't know if you saw that, but, I guess I should have put a save state there, sorry. Hold on. I don't even remember which of these load zones is the good one to get. I think it might be the bottom that's bad RNG. No, okay, bottom is good RNG. So hold on. Let me hit the top one so I can get back to where I was. I should have put a save state, that's my bad. Oh wait, seriously? Okay. It might just be that, like, one of them is taller and it sticks out on both sides. I don't actually know. I just want to get the bad RNG, please. So I can show how to do this trick. Okay, so, again, dash left until you hit that load zone. Dash left. And then I'll put a save state here this time. So dash right. And so yeah, I don't know if you saw, but when I did that, the inventory started to close and then stopped closing because I got out of bounds. But then you can see after a while, it like briefly closed a tiny bit more. After you see it do that, and you won't always see that, like if you're really late or really early with the out of bounds, but you still get the out of bounds, you won't necessarily see that, but most of the time you will. So after you see it, kind of start to close and then stop closing again for like the second time, then you can jump, and it will buffer that jump into the next room. So as soon as you see that, that's your cue that like, oh, okay, I can just buffer my jump now. And all you're doing is, I'll try to get out of bounds kind of normally here. So all you're doing is you just want to jump into this load zone. So if you can't get this like kind of out, just hold right and jump at the right time to get there, what you can do is you can just kind of out of bounds and come out to the left and stand here and then jump up into it. And if you do it right, you will now be here with Cornifer. Or Cornifer's, like, I'm not here note. and then you're just gonna go back right, and you will automatically be pushed back through. And then you are here, and this is where you want to be. Dash 3 times, and then come left, and just walk into mount. And so that's what happens if you get the bad RNG. Is you go through all that. You just kind of like walk back and forth through a few rooms. You do that one kind of out of bounds jump thing, and then you are back. I'm gonna manipulate this into giving me the good RNG, so I can show you that if you get the good RNG, then you are just... Okay, apparently not. I don't know which one of these load zones gives the good RNG or not, so I'm just gonna wait until it gives it to me. But if you get the good RNG, you're just immediately in that room outside of Mound, and I cannot get it right now. Hold on. Where is this other... Okay, I hit a weird slope there that kind of pushed me into the load zone. I can't tell if I pushed in... Yeah, okay. And by the way, this RNG, it's not cooperating because I'm trying to make a tutorial, but I find that this is like about 50-50 for me, whether I get the good RNG or bad RNG. So, I think it's the top load zone, and if I hit this, then I will get the good RNG. Yeah, okay. So, if you get the good RNG, you'll be here. And you can see the camera's not on me right now. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you will be able to see. So if you get the good RNG, you're just immediately going to be in this room, where you're with Mound. And in case you can't see, it's 3 dashes, and then left. And if you can see, then you'll just be able to see what you're doing. And you can go in. Okay, and now all the routes meet up. If you skipped False Night either of the ways, with good RNG or bad RNG, or the normal False Night skip, or you didn't skip False Night, this room is the same. You can get transition storage when you enter here, if you want. I don't like doing it. But you can. Like so. The problem I have with it is that I can, like, talk to this guy and do this, and then, like, if you mess it up, then you can accidentally not even get his dialogue, or even if you get his dialogue, you can get it kind of slower than you normally would. So I don't like transition storage. So what I do is I do interaction storage, which is like I dash 3 times, and then kind of while I'm in the middle of the 3rd dash, I start the interaction storage inputs. So like mid-dash, I do the first map press, and then immediately when I get to him, I can press up, and then I do the second map press. So that's how I do it, but you can do it either way. Or you can even just like do focus storage or whatever, if you don't want to do either of those. But make sure you store his dialogue, and then you can close out of that. And then you kind of want to be jumping into this as it spawns. So you want to be like where it spawns right when it spawns, so that you don't have to waste any time at all, you just immediately have it. But you want to make sure your inventory dropping when you when it spawns on top of you. And that way you can just, after you get it, close inventory and quit. And that is it. It's the end of Vengeful Spirit. So, yeah. Take your pick of False Night skips, or don't skip False Night. Practice both the False Night skips a lot if you're going to do either of them. They both will take a lot of practice. They're consistent once you get good at them, but with whichever one you choose will take practice. I promise you that. So, yeah. Either skip him, don't skip him. Get Vengeful Spirit. Definitely do that part. And I will see you in the next section for Dream Now.